Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, ici Radio Boloni, émission internationale. Veuillez écouter maintenant un concert de musique et de danse. Meine Damen und Herren, wir werden ein Symphoniekonzert hören. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, demandez toujours les cosmétiques de Sporting Live. Exigez le nom de Sporting Live, toujours le Sporting Live. You're listening to Radio Bologna, broadcasting on a wavelength of anything from a dozen to a gross of meters. We're never very certain. Ladies and gentlemen, a program presented by the makers of X, the only insect and face powder with 1,000 uses. Continuing our series of lectures from the horse's mouth, we have in the studio tonight Mr. I beg your pardon, Mr. Twiddleswitch, the famous expert in domestic economy, who is going to tell you of some of his own experiences with X. Now, before he comes to the microphone, here is a record of the Bees' wedding by somebody or other, played by the Philly Symphony, played by a famous American orchestra. And now here is Mr. Sizzletitch. Good morning, mothers, my friends. The makers of X, that wonderful insect and face powder, have asked me to tell you some of my own X. I use it as a talcum powder, sheep dip, gravy thickener, infant food, eye lotion, boot polish, drain cleanser, and mouthwash. I use it for making mayonnaise, poultices, and custard sauce. It's splendid for washing tile floors, vegetables, and delicate fabrics, and it scratches without cleaning. You'll find that a teaspoonful in a cup of boiling water makes an ideal stimulant or sedative or laxative, and it tastes just like delicious tea, coffee, cocoa, or weed killer. Now, a little X smeared on the edge removes all traces of unwanted hair, corns, bunions, and other facial blemishes. Put a little X on your face at night, and you'll be amazed at your changed appearance in the morning. Well, now, if I can help any of you with any of your family troubles, I do hope you'll write to me, Mr. Twiddleswitch, T with I double tittle S double witch. And next week I shall deal with sweet peas. So good, and thank you, very good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Twiddle, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker forgot to tell you that the address of X, I will spell that, EXX, is room 267A, 429 Little St. Street, WC2. If you will send us a postcard enclosing a enclosing 1 and 11, we will send you absolutely free a generous sample of X sufficient to decorate a 5-room house, or to keep your whole family fit and well for a fortnight or so, according to the length and size of your... Monsieur, ne fumez que le tabac Cabasio, exigez le nom Cabasio, toujours Cabasio. You're listening to Radio Bologna, and here's the Bologna time signal. At the third stroke, it'll be about 3:38, or even later. Good afternoon, folks. The makers of Gritty Granules present another high-spot program of melody and melodrama. Gritty Granules for grander gravy, and boy, oh boy, what grand gravy Gritty Granules gives. For every dish, whether it's horse dovers or just plain horse. Well, folks, at the end of this program, I'll tell you how to try Gritty Granules gratis. Okay, Elmer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear another installment of the gripping adventures of Lance Corporal Featherstone Haw, DSO. That debonair Englishman of the Secret Service. Last week, you may remember, we left him in a high-speed airplane making a lightning dash by air, sea, and land from the Touquet or somewhere to the Home Office with a prescription for the Minister for Internal Disorder. I'd better repeat that. Today, we'll accompany Lance Corporal Feathers on his thrilling journey by air, sea, and land, and so on. Will he get there in time? Will he make it? Over to the Touquet. gentlemen, I very much regret to tell you that the late Lance Corporal Featherstone Haw has not made it. And now, folks, before we come to our weekly recipe, here's a new swing number that's all the rage in New York, Chicago, Arkansas. And here's our recipe for this week. This time for kidney soup. Pencils and papers ready? Okay, Mrs. Goodenough. Take a pint of water and beat it to a stiff cream. Add the juice of one kidney. Get this by squeezing it hard or by stamping on it. Now take 7 pounds of gritty granules, mix into a smooth paste with lots of water, set aside to cool, and bring to the boil. Apply to the affected part, and the boil will disappear at once, if not sooner. Well, thank you, Mr. Goodenough. And now for our stupendous free offer. In every packet of gritty granules, there are free coupons. 3 of them. Each coupon entitles you to buy 2 1 and 6 penny packets for only 3 shillings. Gritty granules will be cheap at half the price. It's available in 2 sizes, 1 and 6, and 18 pence. The larger size is smaller in the long run. So don't forget, folks, if you're tired, run down, bilious, or depressed, or are tortured by rheumatism, asthma, or dandruff, the very first dose of Grimthorpe's Golden Grains will finish you off good and proper. Say, I felt I was getting mussed up somehow. Forget it. What I mean to say is, gritty granules for grander gravy. So long. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our programs in English for today. We're now going over to the pig and whistle for...